Okay, so I can't touch the camera now because we're on the main road driving away. So you get to just see, this is all the sunshine is coming from behind, so you aren't seeing any of the frost, are you? You know the silver and gold of the universe? The gold is the color when the sun is behind you. The silver is the color when the sun is in front of you. Check it out sometime. I really need to go back and harvest all those willows I harvested in the spring, because they will have grown for a year. Oh look, that was the bus I used to drive. But that's not Suzanne. Suzanne used to drive the bus when I didn't drive. Oh, that's because that's on the 5th concession. I didn't do the 5th concession. 5th concession. I did the 7th concession. Drive away the darkness every day. Drive away the darkness. Bring back the warmth to the ground. Sunrise, come with the dawn. Sunrise, show them every day. Sunrise, every day. Fiddling all the hollows. Every day, filming all the hollows, lighting up the hills all around. Sunrise, the dawning. Sunrise, shoot them every day. Sunrise, every day. Guelph Harris. I had a terrible sleep last night. I kept waking up. Yesterday when I went to do pottery at the pottery studio, I put my foot on the wheel and I kicked it. I kicked the wheel, you know, to make it go. And my ankle smashed into this place where you're supposed to put your foot to rest. And of course it was on the moving wheel, so it hit it faster. Man, did that ever hurt? I tried to ignore it and go to sleep, and it just hurt all night. I finally got up and took a pill. Oh, it's almost the time for news.
Thanks for talking about this today. Thank you. Stay healthy. That is Natalie Allen, Professor of Psychology at the University of Western Ontario. She was in London, Ontario. Amin Malani is the Director of the Health Industry Management Program at the Schulich School of Business at York University. He was in our Toronto studio. Stay with us. The news is next. And in our next half hour, the CBC's Lyndon McIntyre will be by to talk about trust as it's reflected in the journalism he's pursued for more than 30 years and the novel that just earned him the Scotiabank Giller Prize. I'm Anna Maria Tremonti. This is The Current on CBC Radio 1.
This is CBC Radio 1, 91.5 FM.
We always have to listen to the news every single hour on the hour. Not really. Let's go the back roads.
CBC Radio 2 and George Stroumboulopoulos. Sunday nights will never be the same again with The Strombo Show. The hour's George Stroumboulopoulos is behind the mic sharing his love of music. All music. 4 hours of great music and great conversation. Commercial free. The Strombo Show. Sunday night at 8, 8:30 in Newfoundland on CBC Radio 2.
Founder of Yuck Yucks, Canada's biggest chain of comedy clubs, with me today to talk about his 2 definitive guide to Canadian stand-up.
advised the president, according to reports all over the national media organizations here in the United States, is that he has urged caution because he's worried about the political situation in Afghanistan, political stability there of the Karzai government. He is the ambassador to Afghanistan, making him the #1 U.S. man in terms of dealing with the political leadership in Afghanistan. Before his role as an ambassador, he was the top military commander for the United States in Afghanistan. He's also played a leadership role in Europe, in NATO. So he really brings a blend of military and diplomatic experience to his influence, and that will unlikely carry some weight with the president. So he says, Eikenberry says to the president, be careful, a troop surge may not be the answer at this time because of the political situation in Afghanistan.
That's the CBC's Susan Bonner. Eikenberry's suggestion goes against the advice of the top U.S. soldier in Afghanistan, Stanley McChrystal. McChrystal has previously called for the Obama administration to send thousands more troops into the country. All this happens while NATO's Secretary General says he's confident that countries will soon increase their commitment to the alliance's mission. Anders Fogh Rasmussen told the Associated Press that NATO has received many pledges, although he did not name the countries or whether they were promising troops, trainers, or financial assistance. Rasmussen was holding talks with Prime Minister Gordon Brown, the Queen, and Foreign Secretary David Miliband today. Britain has agreed to add 500 more troops to its 9,000 troop contingent if the Afghan government cleans up corruption. Homeowners' insurance premiums have soared this year, and insurers warn the situation is only going to get worse. One insurer says the coverage cost of water damage claims in some parts of Ontario, such as Hamilton, Peterborough, Toronto, and Ottawa, has about quintupled in 5 years. Statistics Canada says Ontario residents have seen the price of home insurance rise an average of 13.1% during the year ended in September. That's double the national average. Karen Ritchie, Vice President of Baird McGregor Insurance Brokers LP in Toronto, says some clients in certain postal codes have seen 40% increases. The largest increases result from a combination of higher rates, penalties to consumers who have poor credit ratings, and revisions to the estimated cost of repairing and replacing damaged homes. Ottawa City Council will hear from the public today on the plan to revitalize Lansdowne Park. At least 93 groups and individuals will be voicing their opinion on the Lansdowne Partnership Plan. It would see Lansdowne Park's Frank Clare Stadium football stadium renovated, green space expanded, and condos, a movie theater, shops, and restaurants, all built through a public-private partnership between the City of Ottawa and the Ottawa Sport and Entertainment Group. Council is expected to vote on the multi-million-dollar proposal Friday, even if Council approves the proposal.
Hi, can I get through here with this car? Okay, good, thanks. Is this Anderson Road? Okay, thanks.
Reviewing the files of the 2 dozen struck down the 7-year-old law, calling it unconstitutional and excessive. Bill 104 closed a loophole which allowed children not eligible for English public school to gain access by first spending time in a non-subsidized English private school. As Melissa Kent discovered, one Montreal mother involved in the legal battle is now thinking of keeping her children in French school.
Audrey Smith is looking at forms she received from Quebec's Education Ministry.
I'm going to fill it, I'm going to send it in, and we'll see what happens from there.
She arrived 7 days after the Supreme Court's ruling and 7 years after she began her legal battle to get her son Kevin out of his French school and into an English public school.
He flunked first year, he repeated. He did second year in a special class in which he felt like, what am I doing here? I'm like a Dumbo in the school or something.
Smith says he eventually dropped out and got his high school degree at an English adult education center. But her 2 younger sons aren't having the same difficulty learning in French, especially her youngest, 6-year-old Jared.
He actually brags when you even say something in English and he responds in French because he's so proud of his he's so unexcited about his French. It's completely different.
Smith says she's now thinking of keeping the boys in French school even if she gets